Have you ever stopped to think about how many things we keep wearing, not because they serve us, but simply because we've always worn them? After turning 50, something shifts. It's not just about fashion anymore. It's about freedom, comfort, and being true to yourself. Today, we're going to talk about 10 things you should stop wearing after 50. And trust me, it's not what you think. This isn't just about clothes, it's about shedding the weight of expectations, outdated labels, and things that no longer fit your life or your spirit. If you've ever looked in the mirror and felt like you were dressing for someone else or holding on to something that doesn't reflect who you are now, this video is for you. Let's talk about what really matters at this stage in life and how you can dress not just your body, but your mindset for the freedom you've earned. Let's get into it. 1. Stop wearing discomfort. The first thing you need to stop wearing after 50 is discomfort. And I'm not just talking about itchy sweaters or high heels that leave you limping by noon. I'm talking about anything, clothing, shoes, bras, shapewear, that makes you feel restricted, self-conscious, or like you're performing for someone else. Listen, we've spent decades squeezing into skinny jeans, wobbling around in stilettos, and wearing underwire bras that feel like medieval armor. Why? Because someone, somewhere, told us that's what beauty looks like. But here's the thing, we've got nothing left to prove. If a pair of shoes makes you walk like you're in pain, they don't belong in your life. If your bra leaves marks on your skin at the end of the day, it's time to break up with it. You deserve comfort, not just on the weekends, not just at home, but every single day. And I get it. I used to think giving up certain items meant letting myself go. But what if it's actually the opposite? What if choosing comfort means you're finally honoring your body instead of punishing it? This stage of life isn't about squeezing into who you used to be. It's about expanding into who you really are. And the truth is, when you feel physically comfortable, you move differently. You speak with more confidence. You show up more fully. And that energy, that freedom, is more beautiful than any pair of heels you've ever owned. So go ahead, ditch the Spanx. Trade the stilettos for something that supports you. Find clothes that move with you, not against you, because you've earned the right to feel good everywhere and in everything you wear. Let's start there. Comfort first, always. Second, stop wearing other people's expectations. Let's talk about something even heavier than tight jeans, other people's expectations. After 50, it's time to stop dressing, acting, or even thinking in ways just to make other people comfortable. You've done that. For years, maybe decades, you've been the supportive spouse, the attentive parent, the reliable coworker. You've played the roles, and you've done them well. But now, it's your turn. This doesn't mean you stop caring about others. It means you start caring about you just as much. If you're still putting on a version of yourself that exists to meet someone else's standards, whether it's how you dress, how you speak, or how you live, it's time to take that costume off. You don't need your neighbor's approval. You don't need your sister's opinion on your hair. And you definitely don't need to follow some outdated idea of what a woman your age should wear or be. You want to wear bold lipstick? Do it. You love those funky boots that make you feel amazing? Rock them. You're allowed to live in a way that makes you feel alive, not just accepted. Here's something I've learned the hard way. When you stop trying to meet everyone else's expectations, two beautiful things happen. First, you breathe easier. Second, you attract people who truly see you, not just the version of you that plays by their rules. So stop wearing the weight of what other people think. Their opinions are not your outfit. Their comfort is not your responsibility. You don't need to fit into their box. You've outgrown it, and guess what? That's a really good thing. 3. Stop wearing old labels. You know those labels people gave you years ago? The ones that stuck to you like glue? The too sensitive one, the not stylish one, the always messing up one? Yeah, it's time to stop wearing those too. The truth is, a lot of us are walking around with outdated versions of ourselves in our heads, versions that were shaped by a high school nickname, a comment from a parent, or a role we had to play in our family. And somehow, those old stories still follow us, even now. But here's the thing. Those labels are lies, or at the very least, they're no longer true. You've grown. You've learned. You've survived things that younger you couldn't have even imagined. So why are you still letting an old version of yourself define who you are today? Here's something powerful you can do right now. Grab a notebook and write down 10 words that describe who you actually are today. Not who you used to be, not who other people said you were, but who you are now. Strong, wise, resilient, curious, joyful. Write it all down, because if you keep wearing those old labels, you're going to keep living by old limits, and you deserve better than that. You deserve to move forward without the weight of who you used to be dragging behind you. You are not the clumsy one. You're someone who dances in the kitchen when no one's watching. You're not the one who always fails. You're someone who keeps getting back up. See the difference? So take off those labels, burn them if you have to, and put on the truth instead. The real you isn't stuck in the past. She's right here, and she's ready for the next chapter. Fourth stop wearing fear of change. Let's be honest, change can be scary, especially when we've spent decades building routines, identities, even wardrobes that feel familiar. But just because something's familiar doesn't mean it still fits who you are. And I don't just mean your jeans. I'm talking about holding on to clothes that haven't seen daylight in years, hairstyles we've worn since our 30s, or habits that keep us stuck in a version of ourselves we've outgrown. Why? Because deep down, change feels like loss, like letting go of who we used to be. But maybe it's time to see it differently. What if change isn't about losing who you were, but about meeting who you're becoming? I remember standing in front of my closet one day, looking at this dress I used to love. It was fitted, bold, very me from another chapter of my life. But every time I put it on, I felt like I was trying to be someone I wasn't anymore. And yet, I couldn't bring myself to give it away. Why? Because that dress reminded me of a version of me that felt powerful. But here's the twist. I am powerful now, in a quieter, deeper, wiser way. And I don't need a dress from 10 years ago to prove it. So I let it go. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is clean out your closet, not just the physical one, but the emotional one too. The one full of maybes, some days, and when I lose 10 pounds. You don't need those anymore. You need space for the woman you are now and the one you're still becoming. So don't fear change. Welcome it. Let it refresh you. Let it bring in new energy, new colors, new freedom. The best part? You don't have to throw everything out, just enough to make room for something better. Because change doesn't mean erasing your story. It means turning the page. 5. Stop wearing the weight of everyone else's problems. This one's big. And if you're like most women over 50, it might hit a little too close to home. For years, maybe decades, you've carried other people's needs, worries, and emotions like they were your own. You were the glue that held the family together, the one who kept the schedule, made the sacrifices, held your tongue, stayed up late worrying about everyone else's future. And now, you're still doing it. Even though your kids are grown, your career is winding down, and you should finally be exhaling. But instead, you're still holding your breath, still carrying the weight of things that aren't yours to carry anymore. Let me be clear. Caring is beautiful. But carrying everything? That's exhausting, and honestly, unsustainable. At this stage of life, your energy is precious. You're not meant to be the full-time fixer, rescuer, or emotional pack mule for everyone around you, especially not adult children who are fully capable of figuring things out on their own. There's a difference between being loving and being responsible for everyone's life. and it's time to set that boundary. Not out of coldness, but out of wisdom. Let your grown kids make mistakes. Let your friends vent without taking it all home with you. Let people solve their own problems. You are allowed to love people deeply without losing yourself in their chaos. Imagine what it would feel like to wake up without that mental to-do list of how to fix everyone else. Imagine what you could do with that space, with that energy, a hobby you've always wanted to try, a trip you keep putting off, a peaceful morning with just you, a cup of coffee, and no emotional backpacks to carry. You've earned that freedom. But first, you have to take off the weight, gently, intentionally, and without guilt. Because here's the truth. The world will keep spinning without you holding it up. And once you realize that, you'll finally be free to live your own life with joy, purpose, and peace. 6. Start wearing confidence. Every single day. Now that we've let go of all that weight, physical, emotional, and mental, it's time to talk about what you should wear. And first on that list, confidence. I'm not talking about the loud, look at me kind of confidence. I'm talking about the quiet, grounded, undeniable confidence that shows up when you walk into a room, knowing exactly who you are and not needing anyone's approval to prove it. You know what that looks like? It's wearing what you love, not what's trending, not what your daughter thinks is cool, not what some style guide says is appropriate for your age. It's putting on a shirt that makes you smile, a pair of earrings that remind you of a trip you loved, a bold color you never wore in your 30s because you were playing it safe. Confidence isn't about size. It isn't about money. It isn't about looking 20 years younger. It's about owning who you are today and dressing like you respect that woman. One time I threw on this flowy black and white outfit just because I felt like being a little dramatic. My 13-year-old son looked at me and said, "You look like a zebra, Mom." And for a second, I hesitated. But then I remembered I felt amazing in that outfit. And that's all that mattered. I walked out that door with my head high and didn't change a thing. Because here's the thing. Confidence is contagious. When you feel good in what you're wearing, people notice. And more importantly, you notice. You move differently. You speak differently. You smile more. So every morning when you open your closet, don't just ask, "Does this match?" Ask, "Does this make me feel like me?" That's the only rule that matters now. Confidence is the best thing you can wear, and it looks good on everyone. 7. Start wearing simplicity. There's something powerful about choosing less, but choosing it on purpose. After 50, your time, your energy, and your peace of mind become your most valuable assets. And one of the easiest ways to protect them? Simplicity. Starting with your wardrobe. Let me ask you, how many pieces of clothing do you own that you actually love? Not the just in case I lose weight pants. Not the maybe I'll wear this to a party blouse that's been hanging there since 2012. I mean the pieces that make you feel amazing, comfortable, and completely you. Here's the truth. You don't need a closet full of options. You need a handful of great choices that fit your life right now. That means clothes that fit your body today, support your lifestyle today, and make you feel proud to walk out the door. When you simplify your wardrobe, something magical happens. You free up mental space. You make mornings easier. You stop second-guessing yourself. You spend less time trying to make it work and more time wearing what already does. This might be the perfect time to try a capsule wardrobe, or at least set aside a small section of your closet with your go-to outfits for each season. Focus on quality over quantity. Keep the pieces that work for you and bless someone else with the rest. Because let's be honest, clothes that don't fit, don't flatter, or don't feel good are just clutter. And clutter, whether it's in your closet or your mind, steals your joy. So instead of chasing variety, choose clarity. Create a wardrobe that supports your rhythm, your lifestyle, your values. A wardrobe that reflects you, not who you used to be, not who you think you should be, but the confident, clear, and beautifully simple woman you are today. Simplicity isn't boring. It's bold. It says, I know who I am, and I don't need more. I need what matters. 8. Start wearing comfort, inside and out. Let's talk about something we've all been taught to ignore: comfort. Real, full body, full heart comfort. For so long, we've been told that beauty requires sacrifice, that looking put together means squeezing into shapewear, tolerating stiff fabrics, smiling through blisters, and pretending we're fine when we're not. But after 50, we get to write our own rules. And the first rule is this: if it hurts, pinches, squeezes, rides up, digs in, or weighs you down, you don't have to wear it. Not anymore. Period. You see, comfort isn't just physical, it's emotional, mental, spiritual. It's waking up in the morning, walking into your closet and saying, I want to feel good today. I want to be good to myself today. Think about this. How many times have you worn something just to look the part, even though it made you feel stiff, insecure, or out of place? How many times have you ignored the ache in your back from those old heels, or sucked in your stomach all night in that too tight dress, just so someone else would approve? That's not style. That's self-abandonment. Now imagine this instead. You walk into your closet. You reach for clothes that make you feel free, soft fabrics, a blouse that skims your body without clinging, a pair of pants that move with you, not against you. You slip on shoes that hug your feet like they were made just for you, and you take a deep breath because you can. That's comfort. That's confidence. That's the quiet joy of choosing you. But comfort also means something deeper. It's the comfort of saying no without guilt, the comfort of walking away from a toxic conversation, the comfort of giving yourself permission to rest, to slow down, to say, I don't have to hustle to be worthy. Comfort is a sign of wisdom. It says, I've learned what matters, and I'm no longer willing to trade my peace for someone else's opinion. And guess what? When you are truly comfortable in your body, your clothes, your spirit, you shine. People are drawn to you because comfort is magnetic. It radiates ease, openness, and confidence that no brand or trend can replicate. So go ahead. Release the outfits that make you dread getting dressed. Let go of anything that makes you feel small, tight, hidden, or fake. Replace them with pieces that support you, literally and emotionally, because in this chapter of life, you deserve to feel at home in your own skin. And if what you wear every day doesn't feel like home, it's time to change it. Comfort isn't giving up. It's finally showing up for yourself. 9. Start wearing joy and playfulness. Here's something no one tells you about getting older. You don't have to get more serious. You just get to be more you. And sometimes, you is playful. Sometimes she wants to wear color, sparkle. That silly hat you bought on vacation. The boots with the fringe, the earrings that jingle just a little when you walk. You know what I'm talking about. That one item in your closet that makes no sense at all but makes you smile every time you see it. Wear it. Life is short. Joy is not a guilty pleasure. It's a vital sign. There's this myth that as we age, we're supposed to tone it down, blend in, be appropriate. But joy doesn't retire at 50. Joy gets braver. It laughs louder. It stops asking for permission. I remember a woman who came into the boutique where I worked part-time. She was 72. She tried on these bold, floral ankle boots, totally out of her usual style. She looked at me and said, "Are these too much for someone my age?" I asked her, "How do you feel in them?" She grinned and said, "Honestly, fabulous." And I told her, "Then they're perfect. That's it right there. Wear what makes you feel fabulous. Dance in your kitchen. Try that lipstick you always thought was too bright. Wear the joy, because joy is contagious. And when you carry it, you give permission for others to do the same. At this stage in life, you've earned the right to enjoy every little moment. Fully, loudly, unapologetically. And if that means wearing pink sneakers or a glittery scarf just because you feel like it, do it. Because here's the truth. The world doesn't need more quiet, invisible women. It needs more women who sparkle when they walk into a room. 10. Start wearing a smile. The most beautiful thing you can wear after 50? A smile. Not the polite, forced kind, but a real, warm, soul-deep smile. The kind that says, I've lived, I've learned, and I still find reasons to laugh. You see, smile lines are not flaws, they're proof. Proof that you've chosen joy over bitterness, that you've seen hard days and still decided to show up with love. A smile lifts your whole face. It softens the room, it connects you to people without saying a word, and best of all, it costs nothing, but changes everything. So let the world see that light in you. Not because life is perfect, but because you've chosen to meet it with grace, humor, and heart. Every morning before you step out the door, don't just put on an outfit, put on your smile. It looks amazing on you. So here's the truth. After 50, you don't need to shrink, fade, or disappear. You don't need to dress to impress, to meet expectations, or to chase youth. You need to dress like a woman who knows exactly who she is. A woman who's lived, lost, laughed, loved, and who's still standing strong, softer and wiser than ever before. You get to say goodbye to discomfort, outdated labels, and heavy expectations, and instead welcome comfort, confidence, joy, simplicity, and peace. Because this chapter of your life, it isn't about holding on to who you used to be. It's about embracing who you are now and who you're still becoming. So the next time you look in the mirror, ask yourself, not, do I look younger? Ask, do I look like me? And if the answer is yes, then you're doing it beautifully. Thank you for spending this time with me. If something in this video spoke to you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. What are you ready to stop wearing? And what will you choose to wear instead? And hey, if you know another amazing woman who needs this message today, share it with her. Let's remind each other that aging isn't about fading. It's about rising. Until next time, stay bold, stay kind, and carry on beautifully.